Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We talk everything animation here, including Steven Universe, which we'll be getting into right now. I'm Dylan Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hey, y'all.
Sam Quattro.
Hello.
And Alex Bonilla.
Hola.
More Diamond Days recap discussion here for Steven Universe this week, talking Escapism that just aired on Cartoon Network. Very interesting and unexpected type of episode here, which we'll be getting into and breaking it all down. We just saw it. We've only seen it once, so we'll be giving you our reactions to Escapism. Make sure you've seen this episode and all previous episodes of Steven Universe. We cover Steven Universe every week. It's new here on the Overly Animated Podcast. Find us at overlyanimated.com or search for Steven Universe Overly Animated on iTunes, or our YouTube is youtube.com/overlyanimated. And we'll also be having feedback later in the week, which Alex will be hosting. So get in your questions and comments about this episode. I really want to know all of your Watermelon Steven symbolism theories. That's a big thing what I'm going to be asking these people here today. So leave comments on YouTube or overlyanimated.com or anywhere else we'll see them, as long as it's somewhere we can see them, and we'll use them for feedback. So, yes, Escapism. It just aired. Delaney, what are your reactions?
So, you know that part where Steven realizes he's a Watermelon Steven and he's really mad? That was me. That's my reaction to the episode. When he goes, ah, it's me. It's my reaction.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
That's it.
Okay. So, maybe mad about the episode. That's maybe the interpretation there. Sam, what did you think of Escapism?
I have to say I wasn't expecting the Watermelon Stevens to make their triumphant appearance. I don't know why we still keep them around. I know that they live on an island and they're like their own society. It's fine.
Multiple societies.
I like the song.
Yes.
That they had.
Yes.
Other than that, it was.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Two tepid reactions to start with. Alex, what did you think?
I don't know what to say really, because we were on such a strong streak of episodes with like important relationship dynamics and lots of humor and very important movements to the story, and then we get this, which is like 8 minutes of just want Steven figuring out how to get off the island and shaking his head disappointedly at the state of Watermelon society. Is like, what is, like, it's one of the strangest points in this event in the Steven Universe, I think, that we've had up to now. As an episode, I think, like, if I come back to this like 3 months from now, I might be like, well, that was a fun, not harmless episode. But it's just in the middle of this stretch of excellent episodes that we've had, and like so much like deep stuff we've had to talk about, this feels very season one-ish in terms of just like the superficiality of it. And but I will say the beginning is great, the ending is great. It's just all the stuff, all the giant chunk in the middle that's like, why is this taking so long? So that I'm a bit scatterbrained right now. Like, it's not, I'm not going to say it's a bad episode, but it comes at a very strange point in the show for me.
We're in flippin' space. And we get to see with Watermelon Steven.
Yeah, like, now we have to escape to the Watermelon Island because it's escapism.
Yeah, that's what happened. This is, they're in the middle of the most plot-heavy arc of the show, the climax of one of the biggest animated series ever, and then we're doing Watermelon Stevens here.
That's great.
Okay, so since everyone was negative, I will represent the positive opinion for
I know
Escapism.
it physically hurts.
What a surprise! I'm so shocked.
It's my duty as host. I have to do this. And Escapism was a beautiful and poignant and gorgeous episode.
Spiritual journey.
I went on a spiritual journey here.
With Watermelon Steven.
Look, it's hard for me to be super positive because I feel like I've notoriously not liked Watermelon Steven in the past before, and I've been displeased every time we've done this. This might be, not might be. This is my favorite Watermelon Steven episode ever.
Out of how many? There's
like
been
three.
There's 3 of them.
This is my
The
favorite
first
of the
Watermelon
3.
Steven episode is a magical experience.
Yeah, it's an experience. So is this episode. I actually already have a grand unified theory about what we saw, so I want to present that.
God.
But, I think this is a very adventure timey episode, which Adam Muto is storyboarded this along with Joe, and fantastic seeing him in the credits and his work here. And I think this is the equivalent of like the Adventure Time finale when you have a trippy dream cool down right before the last two, like the first half of the finale versus the second half of the Adventure Time series finale. Like this is like the trippy metaphorical dream sequence, the calm before the storm. That's kind of how I felt about this. I don't know, Sam, did you think of that at all when you were watching this? Is it Adventure Timey? What do you think of that assessment?
So it was Adam Muto who did some of the storyboarding for this, right?
Yes.
It was in the back of my mind, given that I was like, oh yeah, this is the thing that he did, and I didn't really think about Adventure Time too much until you just brought it up. Now, I guess it makes sense given that, but I don't know. It doesn't make it feel good to me still, though. I was kind of expecting Lars to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a highlight here. I think we saw in the promo, Steven's like, there's no one we could call for help. And it's like, Connie goes into your head or you go in your own head. I don't know. And you get Lars, right? Like there's a connection to Lars here. Yeah.
Let's go. Literally after last week, I told my girlfriend, I was like, OMG, Lars.
Yeah. No Lars. Were we disappointed? No Lars?
A little bit.
Yeah, well, we love Lars so much now. I guess we're just very disappointed. It's Bismuth instead that he thinks.
I'm on the side of loving the ending of him first stumbling onto Greg. Greg is playing his guitar sadly. Greg is happy, but then is shocked that it's Steven. It brings him to Bismuth, and Bismuth is all like, "What is going on here? I don't even understand. Like, why is Steven a watermelon?" But I love the pairing of them together and the silence and the song. Like, it's all great. I think Lars is fine, but I think that this direction is still one that is believable enough to me.
Lars has a spaceship. How are they going to get into space?
For real.
Peridot will reform and they'll rebuild the ships that are on.
I think half the point of the point of going to Bismuth was unexpected to me, but it was like it felt like unexpected and smart that it's like Bismuth is literally the only crystal gem that's not poofed there. Like, I guess Peridot and Lapis are still poofed. So I like literally everyone else. So I guess that does make sense that Steven.
Well, did you say Lapis?
Yeah, Lapis.
She's not poofed.
They're
yes,
poofed.
she is.
Yeah, they're poofed. I mean, we thought they might not have been poofed. It was a little while ago and Reunited. They both got poofed by Yellow Diamond.
Okay,
Lapis, yeah.
I couldn't remember. This was like forever ago.
I thought they'd be reformed by now, so I was surprised that they weren't there when Steven got to Greg. I guess, but they definitely
they'll be somewhere.
They might.
And Lapis will fly them all.
Right, so Lapis could fly them. It's possible Lars would land on Earth. Like, we think that would be happening soon anyway, or maybe they can contact Lars. That's how they get there. Bismuth could obviously build something, I think. I'm not obviously, but I think
Greg
Bismuth
can't
could build
breathe
something.
in space.
Right, so that's a problem. Greg in space. We'll see about that. Okay, let me give you my grand unified theory.
I'm just imagining Greg like he's an astronaut, like he's in an astronaut suit.
But see, this is why we need to rebuild the ships, because Greg has gone into space before with ships, and I think that's the setup.
Yeah.
Which is how we reform Peridot, because we need her.
I think Bismuth will build the. Yeah, I guess Peridot would be helpful, like an engineer. That's a good question. Will we see Peridot and Lapis in the finale? I guess I'm skeptical because we didn't see them here.
I mean, if we're back on Earth, I feel like that's the default. Like, for one thing, Bismuth isn't going to leave Lapis and Peridot on Earth, that's for sure. And then, like, you could argue, like, oh, they're still. I have to take the gems with me, and then they'll reform on Homeworld. But like, I think that Lapis, by coming to Earth as opposed to going to Lars, this makes it a lot more probable that Lapis and Peridot are involved.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't on Earth before randomly we're on Earth. I agree with that. But, you bring them to Homeworld and then all of them reform at once and they all get new outfits and matching crystal gems. Yes. Yeah. So that's the way to go with that. We seem to not want to talk about the Watermelon Steven part here. I'm trying to get us back into the meat of the episode.
Well, what happened?
Look, Steven
they built a boat. And then he kissed a shark. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven united Watermelon Society by being done with their junk and their tribalness. And he's like, hey, come together to help me get off your stinking island. And it worked. Hooray.
Look, I'm sure what I'm about to say will be outdated by the time the podcast comes out. There'll be Reddit posts analyzing this. But in the meantime, here's my initial theory of the symbolism that happened. This is everything we saw with Steven, and the Watermelon Steven Society is a metaphor, a direct metaphor for what's going on Homeworld with the diamonds and the crystal gems. You have your pacifist watermelons and you have your warrior watermelons, which I think is what was happening.
That would be like blue and yellow.
Yeah, you interesting. They could be two separate types of diamonds. What I'm thinking is that the diamonds are the warrior watermelons and the crystal gems are the pacifist watermelons. And Steven he's not purely a crystal gem. He's both now because he's pink diamond. So he is this mediator between these two sides. And instead of them going to, he needs to deal with them going to war. He reunites them, I think, right? And then they all make a boat for him together. And then the shark attacks him. And what I'm thinking when the shark attacking him is Aang versus Ozai in the Avatar finale. Steven,
so White Diamond.
White Diamond, I don't know. Yeah, right? Because I've been thinking about this. Like, how is Steven going to deal with White Diamond without, like, killing her? Like, a similar thing with Aang and Ozai. And Steven does not kill the shark, the watermelon shark. Steven hugs the shark.
He kisses the shark.
Kisses the shark. Very direct parallel, very direct symbolism to Steven not wanting to use violence to defeat an enemy. It's like that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Steven is dealing with the diamonds who are his family, the crystal gems who are his family, and we really have been. I know it maybe seems weird to say that Steven and the diamonds are family, but we've been hammering that point, I think, the last few weeks. And he needs to figure out how to have them not kill each other. And he brings them together. And then when the ultimate enemy comes up, he does not attack it. That being said, does it work out for him? He breaks apart in the water. He loses a limb. He washes up on shore. He still needs help. Like, him hugging the shark did not result in the day being saved. He ended up in a desperate situation. He just happened to have been found by Lion. So I also think it's saying, like, this will not work, Steven. Your usual approach of talking things out and sharing your feelings, like you did with the shark, will not work with White Diamond. Okay, multiple facets. Alex, what's your reaction to all of that?
I don't want to insult you, but I think you're overlooking this.
Wait, do you honestly think I'm reading too much? There's got to be
blatant
record, symbolism
every
here.
Watermelon episode is like an allegory for something ridiculous in the show.
But hold up. What was Super Watermelon Island really doing besides showing the watermelons as a tribal group? Like, other than that, was it foreshadowing anything?
I don't remember that much Super Watermelon Island. I can't.
It's been a long time.
Okay, there you go. No, from what I recall from Super Watermelon Island, Watermelon Steven shows up. He realizes that they've made a society surrounded around this Steven statue, and he gets them to help. He eventually gets them to help him attack Malachite or whatever. But there's not much there. Like we show the society, we see them acting like their own little tribe, separate from everything, and the joke is that Steven has to communicate without being able to talk. And that's pretty much the same thing here. Like, most of this episode's humor derives from the fact that Steven cannot talk, that he doesn't have fingers. Like, that's where the jokes are coming from. And it's just, I'd be very impressed if this is foreshadowing somehow. And I'm sure that Reddit, when the theory places will prove me wrong, and that there's deep meaning to this. But I think that this is all played for jokes. It's played for a cool down. And while that's fine in the context of it's been done before. Like Super Watermelon Island itself is half the episode is a cool down before revving up to the Malachite fight. So in that sense, it's fine. But it just, I don't think that the usage of the watermelons themselves is foreshadowing of anything.
All right. I mean, I think you have two separate points there. Like you have a criticism of the episode being that it's played for jokes more than too much, but I don't think that contradicts it having meaning behind it. I think there's got to be some sort of meaning behind this as well. And then you also say maybe the watermelons people specifically aren't meaning. Maybe there's something else. I think that could be valid. Sam, what do you think?
Well, I like what you were saying, Dylan, about it being an allegory. I mean, I buy into that. I don't think that they would just shove in the watermelons just because it's fun and they're watermelons. He. Yeah, I don't know. I side with the idea that this is all just a big metaphor for what's to come, and I just can't wait to see if Steven's gonna lose some extremities in there.
Right? Yeah. Is this a foreshadowing of Steven? What did he lose?
Oh, is he gonna poof?
Well, I've seen some discussion about that. Can Steven poof?
Ooh.
Yeah, there's already been some hot fan discussion. People think no, but because he's a human, I think. But we'll see. Delaney, what do you think?
So we're watching the episode, and my girlfriend's like, "Oh my god, does this mean Steven's gonna lose his fingers?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "What happens to watermelon Steven happens to real Steven." I'm like, "Oh my god, okay." So I love watching these things with my girlfriend. It's the best. So I am about the theory, as dumb as it is, because it's watermelon Steven. But I mean, we're in the middle. We're literally in space, and we're like going. Like, we have watermelon Steven. It's going to be a thing. So I do think it's about the diamonds, and I think specifically it's about you have to get blue and yellow to agree, and then they have to join Steven's side, and then everybody has to fight White Diamond because Steven needs a lot of help to fight White Diamond. And yeah, the whole shark thing. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to go too well for Steven. So he can't poof probably. So I think he probably is going to get seriously hurt, but he's probably going to have some he can probably regenerate limbs or something stupid because that's how this show works. So like he can heal, so it'll be fine. He'll just have cat fingers. It's fine.
Oh no, let's not bring up cat fingers.
Cat fingers.
Yeah, Alex, are we bringing Adam Muto in to do a meaningless watermelon episode? I mean, come on, like there's something here, right?
Well, let's see. I was actually going to bring that up earlier.
We need you to write a watermelon
there's
allegory.
Well, because there was a Steven Universe podcast episode. I know we're promoting rival podcasts here, but they brought in Adam Muto, and he's like, "Yeah, I worked on an upcoming episode, but I don't know much about the mythology, so they brought me in for one that isn't that lore heavy anyway. So it was a little easier to get into it." So like when I saw Adam Muto was going to do episode before the finale, it's like, wait, how is that even possible? How do you bring someone in for an episode that doesn't really matter, that doesn't have lore or like require you to know the mythology of the show? But here it is, just hey, watermelons. So like I kind of buy it. Like as you mentioned, it makes it an adventure timey thing, and it fits with the tone of the event so far. That also Tom Herpich and Pendleton Ward have been involved, making stuff a little bit more heightened in terms of its surrealism. So, and this was a surreal episode. That's not deniable. Like it was weird to just see going back to the Watermelon Society. That's always been one of the weirder aspects of Steven Universe. So yeah, I don't think that holds much water to me personally. I do want to get into, though, if we're going to go into this theory thing, one part that didn't really click with me is we have the rival tribes of the peaceful melons and the warring melons. They eventually get together to help Steven build the boat, but I don't understand why. Like what triggers them working together?
So
because I feel like that's important if you want to go down this road of this is foreshadowing the two sides. But like the episode, at least to me, didn't make clear why.
An explanation. Together. Let's talk about the dog first. No, we can talk to the dog in a second. I want to also layers like the bird water and the shark watermelon. It's all very important. So he spends time with each tribe. That's why he's the unifying presence. He's the avatar of the bridge between these two tribes, and he spends time with the peaceful tribe. And we see the statue. Then we see the warring tribe side. They have their own statue. They have their own elder. I don't know if it was the shared elder. You gotta watch it in more detail. But yeah, there's they both like him. He both see him as a compatriot, and that's very similar to the situation he's in with the diamonds and the crystal gems. He's a member of both families. So the only way they would have shared ground and come together is by doing something for Steven and boosting Steven up and helping him do what he wants. There you go. That's the
So just by spending time with both of them, it's like, okay, that's enough. Well, we're similar enough.
well, it's the metaphor because he spent time with the crystal gems. Now the last few episodes, he spent time with the diamonds. I also think it's valid, kind of what Delaney's saying, where this could be metaphor for between the diamonds themselves, because we have been hammering a little bit of the differences between blue and yellow, and then there's the white looming. I think that could be a factor I'm not necessarily seeing immediately in what's happening. I could definitely see.
It's like, so we have so you have the warriors and the peaceful ones, and they come together to build a boat to help solve Steven's ultimate goal. So you have to get blue and yellow together to help fight White Diamond.
Yeah.
And so is White Diamond the boat?
White's the shark, I think, here.
Yeah.
Right?
But they don't help him at all with that.
Well, they propel him to the
They
battle.
get him the boat.
Yeah. That could be a thing too. I could see that. Based on the promo, which we'll spend some time talking about the promo because there wasn't a lot in the episode. It makes you think that the diamonds aren't on their side, or get to that point, but it could just be from the beginning of the hour-long special.
I feel like they're all gonna fight, but then it's gonna be like, okay, White Diamond's way worse.
Yeah, I think that's definitely possible that there's something like that. A lot of ground to cover.
Like yellow and blue are kind of sold
on Steven.
Yeah.
Well, at the ending of Together Alone, I think that's a step backwards. So I'm not totally sure about that.
Well, I feel like they're closer, obviously, than White Diamond.
And we actually did have that emphasized where Yellow hasn't seen White Diamond in years, so you could argue definitely Steven's closer to them. And I mean, the diamond politics is going to be interesting to see how it plays out. I this is making me want to rewatch this fantastic episode and see how the diamond politics play into the Watermelon Stevens metaphor that we saw, because I think there's something to this. Sam, did you have a favorite part of the entire watermelon journey we went on here?
I can't remember any of it.
There's the dog.
Impressive.
There's one point Steven's like spitting out seeds.
The dog is Connie.
The dog is. Oh, I didn't know the dog was a metaphor too.
Oh no! In the last episode, Blue Diamond called Connie her pet.
Yeah.
No, stop! Stop!
And then no, it's worse because he leaves the dog behind.
Oh no!
Stop!
You're welcome.
No. That's canceled. Don't even think about
Good
that.
analysis.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Was your favorite part the dog, Sam? Who's not Connie?
Yes. So, how do we feel about this watermelon dog versus like Pumpkin, who is also a dog?
At first, I was like, "Oh, that's Pumpkin in dog form," but I guess it's separate.
They can be
It
friends.
is. Personally, I prefer hot takes on cold foods. I prefer watermelon to pumpkin.
But Pumpkin, oh my god, no. Pumpkin's the best.
Okay, we're
In
not.
terms of things I like to eat.
I think this is a record early take for early time in the podcast for hot takes on cold
Dude, the
foods.
whole episode is about watermelons. How's it not going to come
And the
up?
bird falls apart into watermelon slices, so...
It's sad.
Yeah, I don't. I remember like one of the watermelons going shh, and like a bunch of seeds fell out of its mouth. And
That was good. That was pretty good.
That was fun,
also-
I guess.
Yeah. Also, Steven was shooting watermelon seeds out of his mouth to get the ship to run. That was
pretty good.
interesting imagery.
Steven's playing charades a lot in the sand with them, and then at the end as well. It's another big.
My favorite is that then he decides to write. Like, you could have written words the whole time.
True. Yeah.
Just get a notebook.
I don't know. Do watermelons have the capacity for language?
It's a good point.
Okay, well, I don't know if he could have communicated to the watermelons, but like when he got to...
Yeah, it's because he was used to drawing for the watermelon, so he didn't think to write for.
But then also, my girlfriend makes a good point. They did make a point in the episode where he doesn't have fingers, so he probably couldn't actually write like on a piece of paper. He can only use the stick because he just has a thumb.
See, Steven losing all his appendages here. That's the what did he lose in the episode? He lost fingers, a leg, an arm. Is that like all of that?
Yes, I think so.
Jeez, hope it's not foreshadowing.
Yeah, he's gonna lose his extremities and
Bionic Steven.
Yeah, Bionic Steven have to have the
limb
enhancers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, limb enhancers could be foreshadowing. I also think like if Steven gets seriously hurt, then you get into play like, is Steven going to separate from the gem? You know, I mean, probably we're not doing that, but you know, if it's ever going to happen, Rose comes back, Steven's also there. I mean,
oh,
well,
I mean, I think if it was going to happen, it'd be if Steven got hurt and you had to like fix him somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Can Steven heal himself with the tears?
Yeah, I mean, we're also making a big point of the healing and the bringing to life and stuff. So that's another big thing. Maybe it's like Jem gets torn out and he cries and heals himself, like with the, I don't know. Does he lose? Anyway, okay, that's dark. This is a pure episode with watermelons and happiness.
Yeah, I was like, do you really? This is getting pretty dark.
Well, although for the darkness, while we're on that path, one scene I did enjoy is once his boat is destroyed and like we see him like barely hanging on for life, and then Lion pops up just standing on the water. Like that shot is great. Like you've got into the classic like person shipwrecked in the middle of the ocean, like not really knowing what to do, and like that's sad. And then Lion shows up, and it's great. And then
the Jesus allegory Lion because he's walking on water.
Yeah. So like, I love. I hated how much time it took to get there, but I enjoy the imagery of Steven just being broken and floating in the middle of the ocean.
Also, he was like a dried up watermelon.
Yeah, like he's got missing appendages. He's getting rotten due to being in the sun.
I'm not excited for this to actually happen, though.
I mean, I think if we're on the metaphor here, I think Lion is a metaphor for Rose the entire series.
Oh, I thought Lion was going to be a metaphor for Lars in this situation.
Could be. Yeah, it does have a connection to Lars too. Yeah. But if Lion's Rose, and I was thinking, by the way, about Lion equals Pink Diamond recently, as I frequently think about it. And I was thinking how I was still partly right because Lion is a metaphor for Rose, and therefore, Rose is
God,
you don't get to win any part of the
I genuinely was like sitting at night thinking about that once recently. I was, and it was the perfect time to bring it up.
At night, and he's like, "I was bombed."
No, just for that, you just made me hate this episode more. So good job.
Well, I'm succeeding then.
Anytime he mentions the Lion Pink Diamond theory, you have to be like,
if like he's walking on water, Rose is a Jesus allegory, you know, and Lion, like, and is Rose going to come to the savior of Steven?
Lion represents Rose. I agree with you. You just don't get any credit.
I'm not. Well, we move past that. I'm just taking my credit and then moving on, and then
Okay.
So will Rose save Steven in the finale? Like, is that because this is all a metaphor?
We're always waiting for this, but my thing is, I don't want Rose to save Steven because I thought the whole point was we're done with Rose now.
Yeah, I think that is a large point of the recent times on the show. So we'd have to do it in a way in which
Steven's his own person.
Yeah, it would still establish, and maybe the culmination of Steven being his own person.
Finally, him letting it go.
Yeah, and then only then can something happen there.
Remember how Rose was Pink Diamond? That was cool.
Are you saying it's not relevant anymore to the show?
No, I'm saying it's cool. I just remembered, like,
you just remembered
her voice came out of Pink Diamond, and she was Pink Diamond, so it's cool.
I'm kind of on the side that it's not relevant anymore, TBH.
Well, the whole reason Steven can talk to the diamonds in the first place is because of that. But
you mean because he has been zapped in the face? Yeah.
Only reason he got thrown in jail instead of being brutally murdered, I think, is because he's Pink Diamond. Yeah. Okay, let's talk that. Continue at the end of the episode, then we can go back to the beginning because we had some stuff in the beginning we haven't talked about. But yeah, the Lion finds Steven. We talked about that. Greg's playing the guitar, and then we hear Escapism playing the song that we have been anticipating for a long time.
I like it.
Very strange in the context of Steven Universe because no one is singing this song.
I'm mad.
It's me.
Well, I'm mad.
Why are you mad?
Because no one's singing it.
Does that too dissonant from the way songs normally are portrayed in Steven Universe?
Yes, also, like, that's what I want. And I was like, also, like, I understood it was, like, the point, but I was like, I'm mad because they're talking and there's the song, and I was like, this is stupid.
Is an original song that a character wasn't singing. But
who actually sung it? Like, the voice?
AJ Michalka, Stovall with Connie and Steven's voice actors as backing vocals.
Okay.
I'm mad.
So, Quattro singing
it.
If you ever wanted a Quattro song, this was your chance. Good job.
Sam, what did you think of that? The song with no one singing it in the episode.
I liked it. I mean, okay, so my impression of it, because I thought it was Connie's voice actress singing it. I thought it was like Connie singing to Steven as he was like passed out, being Watermelon Steven in like the tower or whatever. But, you know, it's just a disembodied voice. I think it's fine, you know? It's fine that nobody is singing the song. Not everything has to be, you know, happening in real time. It's not like we're in a musical.
This is how this show works. It's a musical.
Yeah, but like it doesn't
I'm
have to
mad.
be that all the time.
Yes,
Adventure
it
Time
does.
does that kind of stuff all the time.
We had
or
a full
did it.
musical episode.
Now, I just want to highlight there was a moment where this show did it well, and it was Bubbled, right? Because he is rescued from the void of space, and Love Like You plays in the background as
Yeah, it's happened before.
as the gems are silently hugging him, and like everything's done. But like, that feels like an ending, right? That feels like it's a correct way to do an ending with like a musical montage sort of thing. But we know that this is kind of just the step towards a finale. So if it doesn't, the moment doesn't exactly feel as earned as it did in Bubbled.
Wow.
So while I appreciate the sequence, I think that it is like the song is beautiful, and I like. I sort of like the choice of it being silent because either way, Watermelon Steven can't talk. So what's the point of hearing that? But it just again, like this the entire episode, just the place where it's used this thing, it feels wrong. Like it feels like this would have had a lot more impact if you saved this kind of strategy for the end of the finale.
But Alex, this is just getting me back into the metaphor thing. Like you say, it's like the end of Bubbled. Well, again, this is literally a metaphor for what's going to happen in 2 weeks. So when Steven gets thrown into the water
When he
by the
dies.
shark, when he dies, this is the end of the finale, and the song starts playing. Like it's
We're
the
gonna hear the
parallel
song
here.
again. I'm gonna
We
start
might hear the song
sobbing.
again,
I'm
yeah.
gonna start sobbing.
But, I mean, I think we need to fit in 2 or 3 more songs in the finale. I don't know if there's time for that, but
There's an hour. We can get at least 2 songs.
yeah, plus this one, yeah. This is the end of the metaphor, as then the song starts playing. So like this is like literally what's coming. The finale, Steven gets cut down by White Diamond or something, and then Rose or whatever, a lion, or maybe Greg, and that's when Greg and Bismuth come. I don't know. But yeah,
I don't know if it's gonna be White Diamond. White Pearl is so sketchy.
White Pearl, yeah. We
So
saw
White
Pearl in
Pearl's
the
gonna
preview.
kill Steven.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a second, I guess. But yeah, I do think it kind of fits with the whole metaphor thing. But
I just didn't like it.
I like it outside of the metaphor. I just thought it was a nice moment,
didn't.
and everybody needs to calm down.
I don't
And-
like it.
Accept a nice song when you hear it.
I mean, it's a good song. I liked it. I just didn't. Well, part of it was like, part of the reason I didn't like it is, so like when I focus on things, like I tune things out, and so it was hard to pay attention to what was going on and then also listen to the song.
yeah, it was a lot, especially after nothing happening for most of the episode.
Yeah, so I don't like that. That's the main reason I didn't like it.
Yeah, that's fair. I thought it was
Just like when they sing the song, it's like what's going on, so you're paying attention to it.
Yeah, it's like this song. It's important to focus on the song, but in this case, we're not focusing on the song. We're focusing on the events that are happening. It's just like a kind of a background thing. Yeah, I thought it was a gorgeous sequence. I thought it was the song was great. I thought it was really well used, and it's different, but this is a different episode, and it's also like this.
Oh man, Greg was holding like messed up watermelon Steven. Does that mean that's gonna happen in the episode? I can't handle this drama that's gonna happen.
Yep, I think so.
God.
Yeah, Bismuth, Greg drawing the diamond situation, asks for help, and then Bismuth gives thumbs up, and Steven passes out.
More like hammered up, but yeah.
You have our permission to die, Steven.
Yep, rip. That was messed up. Messed up.
Also, this is the end to Super Watermelon Island, I think, right? He like passes out, and the gems are like, "We're counting on you," and then Steven goes to stop the cluster.
Wait a second. Wait. Alex.
Yes.
Remember that movie Avatar, the blue one?
Yeah, the blue one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the watermelon Steven is kind of like, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like the
pretty much.
Avatar.
Oh my god, and it's a tribal society. Oh no.
Same thing.
Wow,
Yeah,
did
so-
Avatar rip off from Steven Universe? Is that what we're saying?
No,
I'm
Steven
saying-
Universe ripped off from Avatar.
Look at the timeline of that.
Because I was just thinking, what does this watermelon Steven do when Steven isn't inhabiting it?
He's in a pod, and it's piloting the watermelon
Yeah, so
Steven.
that's
Pandora.
yeah.
No, although the Super Watermelon Island, the key episode in this mythology, it showed that when Steven moves into the body, he takes one that was already existing, because what happened there was like he was just playing hacky sack, and then he got possessed by Steven's essence.
So he just murdered a watermelon boy.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Also, like the same thing with Lars, right? Like he takes over Lars' body, and Lars has no control over his own body for a period of time.
Which is why we had that episode about how it was messed up.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe it's not like Avatar.
Rip original Watermelon Steven. That's what we've
Yeah,
gone with
rip.
this. Wakes up back in the gem jail, and Connie is asleep, and Steven says, "Guess we'll see what happens."
Great. I love it. We had this whole episode up. Now we just wait.
Back to where we started. In the beginning of the episode, Stevani, Stevani's like 2 shields at one point.
That was good.
crazy.
I like it.
And then they shattered.
Yeah.
Can we talk about how beautiful it is that Connie and Steven are stuck together locked away in a tower as if they're like princesses in a Disney movie? And then they figure out to fall asleep. Steven falls asleep on Connie's knees.
That was
Connie
the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, it's so cute. And Connie is protecting Steven while he goes into his meditation phase.
It's
very similar
very
to Avatar: The
yeah.
Last Airbender.
Yep,
This entire opening sequence is great. I love it. And I love Steven and Connie. They are great together. More, please.
Steven and Connie was the
first time
true
we've
Katang
mentioned-
all
Yes.
along. Wow.
Oh my
Is
god,
this-
Dylan said Katang the right way.
No, I didn't.
So yeah, you did. Is this the first time we've mentioned both avatars on a podcast?
Whoa.
Oh, there's only one Avatar. Come on, we mentioned a different movie. Yeah, that's a good comparison. Yeah, Steven going to sleep on Connie's lap. I think was that the most romantic Stevani Converse whatever moments.
I'm too old to ship them, so
Me too. This is fair.
I'm not going to say anything about it.
Yeah.
It's a pure
cute.
relationship.
So pure.
That's a coupley thing, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I lay in friends' laps. It's a thing.
Yeah, this could be platonic too. Yeah. Okay. Still ambiguous. Converse. Will it culminate in the finale? Will we see it in the hour long? We could.
I'm pretty sure Steven's gonna die and Connie's gonna get left somewhere, so I don't think that's gonna happen.
No.
Connie has to go
Protect
back
Connie.
to school.
My girlfriend is looking at me like I am the worst person in the world.
Connie has like her whole life to do.
Yeah. Jeez.
Gotta be president.
Gotta be
Gotta be
president.
Yeah.
Okay.
She needs to graduate, like, what grade would she be in? Like the 6th or 7th grade or something? 8th grade?
So.
Something like that.
Yeah, well, Connie's there, though, and specifically there for the finale events. I think we'll be doing something with Connie in the finale. Stevani climbs up the towers, sees out the window to the homeworld. We get a wide shot of homeworld.
They have this weird obsession with the whole, like, sticking their head into this very narrow space. Like, they have done this multiple times during this event, and it's very odd.
Interesting. What's
The
that
metaphor.
metaphor for? Yeah, geez. Everything is a metaphor in this episode. Stevani
up.
unfuses, that's my Alex impression. Stevani unfuses, there's Connie's candy bars to eat, protein bars, I don't know. And then they talk about being in gem prison. So we reiterate that Steven's motivations here were saving the corrupted gems. That really hasn't been too relevant. We'll see if that comes into play in the finale. Every crystal gem poofed at the same time. What would Dad think? That comes back. Connie's like thinking of plans. Connie's no reception on her cell phone here in Homeworld.
Wow, I can't believe they don't have cell towers.
You mean Verizon doesn't cover space?
Wow.
Wow.
Bubbles already did this joke. It's Steven pulling out his phone in the middle of space.
This is bubbled, Alex. It's the same episode.
Yeah.
And then, call Bismuth. And reach to Earth with your mind.
And swim towards it.
Yeah, Steven's psychic. What do they call it? I heard like O space, psychic O space. I assume there was a different word though. But his psychic mindscape.
I thought it was like dream space or something.
Could have been dream space, yeah. And he's looking for Earth, and then he's swimming towards Earth. Yeah, it was an interesting presentation of these Steven's powers, which we have not enumerated in too much detail. But I think it kind of like fit with what we've known. It didn't seem too far out there.
Yeah, it was similar in animation to what happens in the new Lars, where like you see tiny Steven and he's like slowly moving towards giant Lars. So like it's similar imagery, and then connecting it to the psychic stuff that we first saw in Reunited.
Yes, definitely connects to Reunited, makes you think that's going to come into play in the finale, that type of thing. And then, in the promo that we got, the actual exciting things, we see... Delaney, did you watch the promos? This isn't spoilers.
Yeah,
for
I
you?
saw it.
Okay, wow, you're not completely unspoiled for the
Oh my
last
God.
episode.
I know.
The Voltron diamond ship happens.
Yes, which is
Yeah.
like scary.
Wow. All the fan theories have come true. Call Justin. The Voltron ship happens. White Diamond's head goes onto it or something. White Pearl says you're not going anywhere, looking really menacing.
Yep.
Blue Diamond looking menacing, fighting the Yellow Diamond.
She like sends a bubble at Steven.
Ugh. Don't bubble, Steven. Wow. And then we see White Diamond. Now Starlight, this has gone on long enough. And eyes light up, I think, White Diamond.
God, what is she, Willy Wonka? Jesus.
Kind of is Willy Wonka.
She's so scary. It's ridiculous.
Delaney, what's your hype for the Battle of Heart and Mind event in 2 weeks after this promo?
What? Okay, you said hype. What are you?
What are your hype levels? What do you?
Okay, but you just said what is your hype? I don't know what that means. Okay,
some new slang, yeah.
I guess it's pretty high, but I'm also like really scared. This is probably the most scared I've been for like for a Steven finale. I'm like, oh God, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, this is the biggest ones. That stuff could actually happen here. Bad things could happen. Sam, are you afraid for Steven?
I guess. I don't know. Like, it is his universe, so he's not going to die or anything.
Probably not. Yeah, we'd assume not. Yeah, Alex, promo. Did you like it?
I liked it. To be honest, I don't think I saw it, but it sounds pretty cool from what you guys are saying.
You just said I think I liked it, and to be honest, I didn't see
like,
it.
No way.
Just say you didn't see it. Just
Okay. No, but the Voltron ship sounds familiar. I think we got that from promo from last week. So like, I guess
it was in some other promo. I don't know if it's a leak thing or not, but
yeah. So if it's recycled footage, then I've probably seen bits and pieces everywhere else. But yeah, in general, I am excited for the finale. So say that much.
Go watch the promo. All the feedback questions are going to be about the promo, and none are going to be about the Watermelon Stevens, which is unfortunate.
I mean, you've given them much fodder for me to have to sift through.
I hope they're going to convince you. Maybe I didn't convince you, but they will convince you.
The feedback will just be about Steven kissing the shark, because that was the best part of the episode.
It was
the best.
Yeah, the shark blushed, and it was cute.
That was the best thing. Like, that was my favorite thing of the episode. He kisses the shark, and the shark blushes and swims away. It was amazing.
That's literally that scene was literally the microcosm of what people make fun of Steven Universe for. It's like, good. Hey, you have a giant problem. Let's just kiss it.
Alex,
go
it's
away.
a metaphor. Yes, and it doesn't work. I'm telling you. That's this is the one time the Steven Universe method won't work. It was a symbol,
and he'll die,
and something bad will happen. Yeah, yep. I'm very confident. These are almost Pink Diamond is lying confidence levels here. Like, this is very.
Then that means it will be wrong. Thank goodness.
Wow. Maybe it not being as high means it will be right. But again, as established earlier in this podcast, I was actually right, all along.
Oh my God.
Go away. Stop.
No credit.
It was a boring episode. I had to bring back out the memeing, so that's what we had to do here.
Is it a meme if you are the only one who doesn't?
I think Delaney and you were also in on this meme at some point.
I was.
You also believed it.
It was definitely a meme, yes.
Memes can die.
Yeah, well, this definitely died, but I'm bringing it back. Okay, any final thoughts? We don't need to go around the horn again, but any pressing final thoughts from anyone?
No.
Well, I want to stress that, my negativity is focused on the center of the episode, but the beginning of the episode is beautiful. The ending of the episode is really great. And so those two bookends still give me hope for the finale, and I think that those are those are still the pieces of this great stretch of Steven Universe episodes. It's just the middle that is lost on me personally. But Steven Universe is still a high level show, and even in a quote bad episode, there's always a lot of stuff to praise still. So Steven Universe is still a great show, even with quote down episodes like these.
Also, Watermelon Steven is adorable, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, he's dead now. So.
Rip. No, we'll revive him. We'll bring him inside, bubble him, and then can you bubble Watermelon?
Okay, so if Lapis and Peridot come, can Pumpkin come?
Ooh, yeah. What if we bring Pumpkin?
I don't know. Leave Pumpkin home. What if Pumpkin dies?
Oh,
no, it's not Connie. Connie's not the pet. It's Pumpkin.
No! Delaney, stop trying to kill everyone.
You're welcome.
I'll disagree with Alex Dent here. I thought this was actually a good episode, an actively good episode. Not saying it's as good as 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago or anything. I think it's about as on par with last week. I think it's a good, solid episode.
No, this is false.
My opinion. I'm allowed to give my, and here's my hot
Dylan,
take.
for the record, Dylan will smash anybody else's opinion, so like it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's my opinion. Like, shut up.
My opinion. This is a better episode than What's Your Problem, and it's on par with Maid of Honor. Don't at me. Okay.
Don't at me, Dylan.
Dylan, you're really assuming that I remember the episode titles here.
You have to. Yeah, that was the amethyst one. The first one, and the second was the bismuth one. In the
bottom. Yeah. Somehow he prefers the one where bismuth doesn't talk and is submitted to silence more than bismuth actually returning and having dialogue with the character.
Alex, Bismuth was a big part of this episode. Don't try to diminish her role in this fantastic episode. Also, Bismuth was despite a small scene, was a big part of Legs from Here to Homeworld, and hoping to see big things from Bismuth in Battle of Heart and Mind. But yeah, this is a great episode. Tell me why you agree in the comments. I'm just going to keep going higher and higher on it the more we hate on my opinion here. 2 weeks from now, no episode next week. 2 weeks from now, the Steven Universe : Battle of Heart and Mind. I don't know why the show name needs to be in the title of this event. Will it be 4 episodes? Is it one big episode? We don't really know. We won't know until it airs probably, or maybe they'll do promos and stuff, like the promotional images. But it's all happening 2 weeks from now on, I think, MLK Day, the biggest finale of Steven Universe. We're assuming Diamond's face off from that promo. It looks fantastic. We'll be here to cover it. Yes, let us know what you thought of this episode for the feedback show. You could leave your speculations as well for the finale. Spare Alex having to go through an hour that's generous, of Watermelon Steven discussion. Get some finale speculation in there as well. And subscribe to not miss our Steven Universe coverage, as always, at overlyanimated.com, iTunes, search for Overly Animated Steven, youtube.com/overlyanimated for our YouTube. We cross-post all our podcasts there. Come to our Discord to talk about the episode at overlyanimated.com/Discord, and you can consider supporting us via Patreon at patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thanks to all of our current patrons, especially our patron of the podcast, Kathleen, and thanks to our star patron executive producers, John Ryan, Steve, Alex, and Hugh. Check out busy stuff here at Overly Animated. A lot of stuff, a lot of shows happening. Ruby coverage continues. Young Justice Outsiders premiered last week, and we had a podcast on that will continue running throughout January, and then regular coverage of Steven Universe as well. Check all that out at Overly Animated. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.